आचार्य जी।
ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां
शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे
गुरुपरम्पराम्
परम्पराम्।
ॐ सहना भवतु
सहनावतु
सहनौ
सहनौ
भुनक्तु
भुनक्तु
सह वीर्यं करवावहै
वीर्यङ्करवावहै
नावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः
तेजस्विनावहै।
ॐ
ॐ
शान्ति
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 शान्तिः
शान्तिः। हरि
Om Tat Sat, Om Namah Shivaya. Good morning, everybody.
गुड
ॐ
मॉर्निंग।
तत्सत् ॐ नमः शिवाय।
So we have just finished verse number 10, chapter 16. So we will chant verse number 11. Shri Bhagavanuvacha
श्रीभगवानुवाच
Chintam Parimeyam Cha
चिन्तामणिं च
Pralayantamupashitaha
प्रलयानुपश्चिताः
Tamopabhoga
कामोपभोगपरमाः
Etavadati Nishchitaha.
एतावदति निश्चिताः।
So I'm just meeting you up so that there is no disturbance in the recordings. So he says, Aparimeyam chintam upashritaha, having taken refuge, upashritaha, in aparimeyam chinta, deep anxiety. So upashrita, you can translate as having, been overtaken by deep anxiety. And how long will that last? Pralayanta. It'll last until death comes, their death comes. And who are these people? Kama Upabhoga Paramaha. Kama Upabhogaha, enjoyment of sense objects. Paramaha, as the highest goal. Etavat. Etavat means this is all there is. Etavat Nischitaha, having concluded that this enjoyment of sense objects is all there is to this life. Etavat Nischitaha. This is life. He has concluded. What is life? Enjoying sense objects only. So, aparimeyam, Shankara defines as a very nice Sanskrit definition. Yasya chintam yata parimatum na shakyate. That anxiety, that chinta, that anxiety, parimatum na shakyate, which cannot be measured at all, either in dimension, so it is infinite, or time wise, so it is across all the periods of time. Very beautiful definition. That anxiety which has no physical measurement and which has no time wise measurement. So, eternal, immense anxiety. And pralayantam. So, this Asuric person, he has chosen, actually, he has chosen to worry till he dies. Right? And why is this so? Because he is depending upon external factors for his happiness. External factors are always unpredictable. And therefore, the more there is dependence on the more number of factors, the more unpredictable my life will be. And when there is, you know, a degree of non-predictability about my life, then I worry. What will happen tomorrow? What will happen this? What will happen to that? So that non-predictive nature of my life, it will bring about more stress. And therefore, chinta aparimeyam, infinite worry and anxiety is there for the man who is a asuric tendency man. What about the man who is not? What about the other type of person? The man of Daivi Sampataha. So we have this prayer, right? We're all Vedantits. We have this prayer which says, Yad Yad Bhavyam Bhavatu Bhagavan Purva Janmanu Rupam. What does it mean? Yad Yad Bhavyam. Whatever is going to happen, whatever needs to happen, Bhavatu Bhagavan. Let it happen, O Lord. We have only one request. What is that? Purva Janma Anurupam. Purva Karma Anurup. Also, you can say, in accordance with my prarabdha karma only, let it happen. Right? And when I have the attitude that whatever will happen should happen, let it happen. And it is not avoidable because it's a outcome of my previous karma only. Then I have a certain amount of dispassion because my peace has already been made. And therefore, my peace doesn't depend upon all these changing factors. And therefore, he says, Oh Lord, give me inner strength to face all this. Therefore, remember that the one who is a karma yogi, who has firm faith in the Lord, who knows that Lord is karma phaladata, who knows that whatever bad experiences he gets is also necessary for him, is a event from which he needs to learn. For him, there is never lack of inner peace. The fact that I worry, remember, is an indication of the absence of Ishvara Bhakti. A person who's a Ishvara Bhakt can never really worry because Ishvara is there to take care of me, right? And if I am worrying, it's an indication that I don't have the faith that should be there in Ishvara. Therefore, I am worrying. And so Shankara says that such people, these Asuric people who don't have all these qualities, they are always worried. Sada chinta paraha. Now, what is the second line? Kama upabhoga paramaha. So, what is kama? All beautiful explanation of Shankaracharya in his Bhashyam. Kama is kamyante iti kamaha. That which is desired. And what is desired? It is in the form of the five sense objects. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha objects. That is kama. And upabhoga paramaha. Upabhoga means enjoying. Paramaha means considering that as the paramagati, as the primary goal of your life. So for such a person, artha kama is the primary goal. Money and entertainment. You can see this in today's life, right? Work hard, party hard. Monday to Friday, you work very, very hard and earn money. Saturday and Sunday, you go blow up that money. Go to the beach, go to the bar. So work hard, party hard is today's motto. And that is the very person who this particular sloka is talking about. There is no balance in his life. And so what Krishna is saying that Artha Kama you have, no problem. But balance it with dharma. Always balance Artha Kama with dharma. Which is why, when we talk about Artha Kama, that four Purusharthas, we don't say Artha Kama Dharma Moksha. What do we say?
Dharmartha Kama.
Dharma Artha Kama Moksha. Dharma is primary. Artha Kama has to be balanced by dharma, has to be within the parameters of dharma only. That's why even the word is coined that way, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Right? Because when dharma is not there, how can moksha be there? So he says, iti etavat nischitaha. These three words are basically an explanation of paramaha. Paramaha means this is my primary objective. And therefore, I think iti etavat nishchitaha. I think that I've concluded that this artha kama is all there is to my life, all there is to life, the final goal of life. And Shankara says this is the only and the param purushartha for such people. Param purushartha for us is moksha, but artha kama is param purushartha for such asuric people. Now let us look at the next verse, verse number 12. आशापाशशतैर्बुद्धाः
आशापाशशतैर्बद्धाः
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 कामक्रोधपरायणाः
कामक्रोधपरायणाः
ईहन्ते कामभोगार्थम्
ईहन्ते कामभोगार्थम्
कामभोगार्थम्
अन्ययेनार्थसञ्चयान्
अन्यायेनार्थसञ्चयान्
So, Baddha, he is bound. By what? Asha, Pashaha, Shataihi. So, Baddhaha, he is bound by Shataihi, Asha, Pashaha. Shataihi, Pashaha. Shatai means hundreds. Pasha is strings, ropes. Asha is expectation or hopes. Therefore, Asha, Pashaha, Shataihi, Baddhaha. He is bound by hundreds, Shataihi, of Pashaha, of strings or ropes, of Ashaha, of expectations. And if you have so many expectations, what happens? All of them will not be fulfilled. And when they are not fulfilled, Kama Krodha Parayana. He is constantly given to desire, Kamaha, and Krodhaha, anger. And Ihante, they look for Artha Sanchayan, accumulation of wealth. He wants more and more money. How? Anyayena, any means possible. Righteous, unrighteous, anyayena, any means possible. Kama bhogartham. What is that money for? Kama bhogartham, for the enjoyment of sense objects. So Ashaha eva pashaha tat sataihi. Hundreds of ropes which are in the form of desires, attachments, hopes, expectations. And Baddhaha basically means controlled by. The lifestyle will be controlled by, will depend upon the desires that you have. And Shankara writes, these people are sarvataha akrashyamana. They are helplessly dragged all over the place by their desires. Right? So you've seen sometimes on the road in the morning, you'll find some, very frail person walking his dog. And the way the dog is running, you know, you'll wonder, is he walking the dog or is the dog walking him? So that's here. Is the desire being controlled by you or are you being controlled by the desires? Shankara says the desire is in control and therefore helplessly he will be dragged here and there. And Kama Krodha Parayana, they are committed. It's almost like a Parayanam for them. They are committed to desire and anger all the time. Right? When I was working, we had this boss who used to say, you must be aggressive, have fire in your belly, right? So there should have fire in your belly. So throughout competition, no, even the words themselves are violent. So in today's world, bosses think that they are being very efficient. When you go to them, they say, are you here with excuse? I don't want excuse. Get results. Don't bring problems to me. Don't bring proposed solutions to me. Come and see me only if things have been handled. All these are standard tech words being used by bosses. When do I want it done? Yesterday. I want it done yesterday. So how many of those people who have worked in competitive environments or come across these kind of bosses, you will know what I mean. Everything has to be done before. Correct? And today's management institutes, corporate lifestyle, they don't realize that this is not a very, wonderful way of handling things. It's only a very unhealthy lifestyle. To have a pressure cooker on the gas, you are refusing to let the weight out. The weight is pressed bang into the pressure cooker. It has been welded into the pressure cooker. What will happen? One fine day, that cooker will explode. So these people, they work 16 hours a day, 20 hours a day. Some people sleep in office and they're very proud of it. So this is what he's talking about. Kama bhogartam. Only for satisfying their desires. The prayojanam is only pleasure. Dharma is not there in his view screen at all. Right? Even in the background, in the reverse mirror, it is not there. So Shankara adds a note that earning money is fine, right? But these people, what do? They earn money not for the purpose of dharma. So Shastra says you earn money, but dharma artha, so that you can share on others. You spend on yourselves definitely, but share with others also. But these people, they earn only to spend on themselves. Sharing is not there at all. So earning money can be adharmic, can be used for adharmic activities. It can be used for the rajasic activities when only you are being benefited. It can be used for tamasic activities when others are being harmed. And it can be used for sattvic activities like dhanam and manushya also. Right? So working for getting wealth is fine, but not by taking what belongs to others or by depriving them of their legitimate share. Right? So very often when we go for vegetable shopping, you'll find the wife arguing with the vegetable vendor about the last 3 rupees or last 2 rupees. So I always wonder what is there. It is not that 2 rupees is so important for us, but then somehow that argument comes around. 2 rupees we must fight for. And the thing is, why waste money? That 2 rupees means more to that poor vegetable wali than it means to you. So, anyayena here means that taking what belongs to other by depriving them of their share, right? Supposing your, you know, cook or maid is having a bit of a problem getting jobs, and a new one comes to you and says, "No, I want to work with you," and you know that the going rate in the society is say 2,500 for the month, but somebody has told you that this lady is desperate. And therefore you say, okay, fine, I'll keep you as a cook, but I'll pay you only 2,000. Many people will be proud of the achievement. Shastra says, no, what you have done is depriving her of her share of fair share of work. And that is not correct. So all these ideas fall under this particular category of harming others. So these people, any means possible. White money, black money, no taxation, cheating the government, everything is fine with them. What for? For ensuring that I have the maximum money to enjoy my life, sense objects. And with this, Shankara ends this commentary on this verse. But he says, Idrishascha tesham abhipraya. The thinking process of these people will be given in the next verse. So let us look at verse number 30. This is the thinking process of people of Asuric people who have Asuric tendencies. Let us chant. Idamadhyamaya labdham
idamadhya maya
इदमद्मया
labdham
लब्धम्
imam prapsye manoratham
idam
इमं
prapsye manoratham
प्राप्ते मनोरथम्
idamasti idamapi me
idamasti dabapme
इदमपि
Bhavishyati punardhanam.
bhavishyati punardhanam.
भविष्यति पुनर्धनम्
Okay. So, what is he saying? Idam labdham. This has been gained maya adya today, by me today. And imam manoratham. This is very pleasing to me. And idam dhanam prapsye. I shall gain this wealth. Me asti idam dhanam. I have so much wealth now. And bhavishyati idam api punaha. I will earn more in future. So this much money I've got today, and therefore I shall use that to get my desired sense objects. And I have got this much wealth, but there will be more later, right? So time becomes another name for money. So we have this philosophy: time is money. Convert time into money. Don't waste time. So these three verses, Krishna is talking about the thought patterns of these materialistic people. So we have been saying asuras, right? Remember, asura is a person who indulges his sense organs, right? Asuhu ramate iti asuraha. Asuhu is sense organs. The person who indulges his sense organs to the exclusion of everything else is called asura. In today's world, it is materialistic people. So charvakas. So he says, this much money I have got. He is measuring his value, self value by what? How much money he has. Whenever a person judges you in terms of wealth, or what wealth he has got, what wealth you have got, remember that it should not bother you at all. Because as Vedantins, we don't measure in terms of what we have acquired. We measure in terms of what I have given back. So for us, the measurement of self-worth is in what I have given to the world, not in what I have taken from the world. But this person, imam prapsyase manoratham. I will acquire this and I will acquire more. I have got this, but I am not satisfied. So have to get more, and therefore I will idam dhanam bhavishyati. I will get more wealth in future. In short, he is on the treadmill, but he can't get off. He's running, because the treadmill keeps on going. He has the switch on his hand to turn off the treadmill, but will he? Why? He's Rajasic, he's Asuric. He thinks that is the only way to live life. Okay. Now the 14th verse. We will check. Asau maya hatah shatruhu
असौ मया
मया शत्रुः
anishye chaparanapi
अनिष्ये च परानपि
ishvaroham bhogi
ईश्वरोऽहं भोगी
siddhoham balavan sukhi.
सिद्धोऽहं बलवान् सुखी
So this person, he sees, you know, anywhere he looks, he sees that some people are there waiting to obstruct his happiness, obstruct his goals. So such people are there in the world. You may have many friends also, right? That whole life is spent in seeing enemies in everybody. And a person who wants to see everybody as an enemy, he has only one option. He has to get rid of all the enemies, all the rivals he has to get rid of. And today's world, you are seeing that happening, right? Supermarkets get rid of sabjiwalas, cable TV gets rid of cable operators, laundries get rid of dhobis, And of course, very commonly, what we are seeing today, multi-story buildings get rid of individual houses. And therefore, he says, Asau Shatruhu Maya Hatha. Aha, destroyed all my competitors. Sorry. Sometimes this destruction can be just seeming figurative, and sometimes it can be physical destruction also. And not only has he destroyed his enemies in his whom he can see, he is thinking about enemies who may be there but he has not seen. So Hanishye Aparana Picha, I will destroy others also. Right? Aparan means what? Everybody else is inferior to me. Anyan Varakan. Yes, inferior to me. And therefore, your whole time is spent in, first of all, destroying people whom you see and then destroying people whom you don't see. Therefore, destruction of any opposition, it becomes my primary, uh, purpose in life. I should go forward. I don't care whom I hurt. I should not be stopped by anyone. And Shankara adds one more, thinking process to these people. It's not given in this sloka. Shankara says, Kim ete tapasvinaha karishyati. What can these tapasvis do to me? Tapasvis means dharmic people here. So this person who is adharmic, he has contempt for people like us who are committed to dharma. Because he says your values are so limited, limiting, not limited. Your values are very limiting because you are restricted from doing whatever is required to be done because of your values. Your values will be walls coming in the way of your doing what you want to do. But I have no such problems. I can do everything necessary to destroy them. They will not destroy me because they're dharmic. I'm using their own strength. To help me give you everything necessary to. They're using their own uh, weaknesses against me. He thinks it's a weakness to be dharmic. And he said, I'm going to use your weakness against you. So because you can't destroy me, because you're limited by your values, you're restricted by your values. Ahimsa is a value for you. You won't cause me harm. But I have no such value, so I can destroy. And therefore, Shankara says he thinks I am the greatest man in the universe. Nobody is there equivalent to me. Why? Na kevalam manushaha. I am not just a human being. Aham Ishvaraha. I am the Lord. Everyone must come and bow to me. Like Hiranyakashipu. And aham bhogihi. I am the one who has the right to enjoy all the wealth in the world. And how I get that wealth is not my problem. How many dead bodies I leave in my wake, it's not my problem. That wealth I must have. So aham bhogihi, aham Ishvaraha, aham siddha. I am successful. I have wealth, I have children, I have 20 cars, I have 50 buildings. People respect me. Palawan, I am the strongest person. I can fix anything. I can fix the police, I can fix the courts, I can do anything. And therefore, Sukhi, I am the happiest person in the world. Nothing can obstruct me or from my objective of sense enjoyment. Right? And Shankara adds a very nice line in the end. Bhumi Bharaya Avatirna. These people are born on this earth for being a bharam. They are born only for the purpose of being a burden on this earth. Okay. Now the 15th verse. Adhyo bijanavaanasmi.
आढ्योऽभिजनवानस्मि
Punyosti sadrasho maya.
पुण्योऽस्ति
सदृशो मया
Yakshe dasyami modishya.
यक्ष्ये दास्यामि मोदिष्य
इत्यज्ञानविमोहिताः
ज्ञानविमोहिताः.
Okay. So again, more thoughts of these people who are materialistic, whom Krishna is calling asuras. We call them materialistic people, people who have no interest in scriptures. What are they? Aham adyaha asmi. Adyaha means wealth. So I am a very wealthy person. And abhijanavan asmi. Abhijanavan means I am born in a noble family, I have a noble birth, and therefore this person is always talking about his ancestors. My father did this, my grandfather did that, my mother did this, my grandmother did that. All his ancestors were great people. So he also thinks he's a great person. And Shankara adds over here that this person also talks, my family has been studying the scriptures, not just my parents, but 7 generations of my family have studied the scriptures and have been very knowledgeable in the scriptures, and therefore I belong to a very, very cultured family. And therefore, what? There is nobody in the world equivalent to me. Kaha anya asti sadrasha maya. Where is anybody who is the same as me? I am the greatest person. Kaha anya asti sadrasha maya. That's his question. Who else is there who is equivalent to me? So indicating arrogance. And then yakshe. Yakshe means I will do a lot of yajnas. I will do so many yajnas that nobody else will be able to do so many yajnas. So I am a great person. And remember that he is doing these yajnas to prove that he is a great person, not for chittasuddhi, but for publicity, not for inner growth, but for publicity. Right? So Ravana is an example. So remember that yakshe has no connection word yakshaha, in case you all are wondering. Okay. Yakshaha is not the word meaning over here. Yakshe is comes from the word yaj. It is yaj means to do a yajna. And therefore this is yakshe is the future tense of yajati. Do a yajna. We'll do a yajna in the future. That's yakshe. Then dasyami. Dasyami means I will be charitable. I will give a lot of charity, but I will make sure that my selfies appear in the social media, that my photographs appear in the newspapers, on all the magazines, that this man is a great man because he's giving so much charity. So it is said, that the man who is really charitable, his name never appears anywhere. You know. So I am told that the Tata Group do a lot of charity. But how many times have you seen their faces in the papers? So that's Dasya, the person giving charity without putting his face over there. Okay, but this person is not like that. This person wants photos and social media appearances. And after all that, Modishye. Modishye means I will be extremely happy. So you must be remembering more than Pramoda, right? So Modishye, I will be extremely happy. And iti. Iti is the quotation ends. So Krishna is saying this is how these people think. And ajnanena vimohitaha. So vimohitaha is vividham mohitaha. Deluded in very many ways. So it's not that they are deluded only in some ways. They are deluded in lots of ways. They don't know what is Vampadaha. They don't know what is Vachyartaha. They don't know what is Lakshyartaha. Nothing they know. They are deluded in many, many ways. Not just one delusion, multiple delusions they have got. Now, the 16th verse we will chant. अनेकचित्तविभ्रान्ता
अनेकचित्तविभ्रान्ता
मोहजालसमावृताः
मोहजालसमावृताः
Sakta kama bhogeshu patanti narakeshu narakeshu cha.
Patanti
Okay. So aneka chitta vibhrantaha. This you have to connect to the previous verse where we said he is deluded in many ways. So aneka chitta vibhranta is deluded in many ways by the various thinking patterns that he has. Anekaihi chittaihi vividam bhrantaha. Deluded in many ways by those various thinking patterns which he has. And Shankara gives a word over here. In his commentary, he says, Ukta prakaraihi, already outlined. What are the various thinking patterns already outlined? You have to look at sloka 13, 14, and 15. The last three slokas. Right? So, according to those thinking patterns, then moha jala samavritaha. So, here Shankara wants us to understand very carefully. So, he defines each and every word. He said, moha means avivekaha, lack of viveka, discrimination. What is this discrimination in this context? He says this person thinks he's a great person and has great virtues. Yep. He arrogates all those virtues to himself. Even if he actually has some virtues, he may not have. But supposing he actually has a lot of good qualities, he keeps on tom-tomming about that. And he forgets one very important thing. What is that? We saw in the 10th chapter. Yad yad vibhuti mat sattvam Srimad Urjitam Evava. Tattad Eva Gachatvam Mama Tejom Mama Tejomsha Sambhavam. What does it mean? Whatever glory is there, remember they belong to Ishvara alone. Shankara says they are caught in a Ajnana Jala, in a net. And Ajnanam, he says, is like a net, like a web, in which they are caught. And the person who is caught in the web, like a caged bird, he's caught in the net. He is not able to get out of the net. He is not able to escape from the delusion. And therefore, that moha jala, that net of delusion, that covers the person from all sides. He is not able to come out of it. So, what is that net? Misconception that money and possessions will give me security, will give me everything that I want. But what is the reality? That there are things which money cannot buy. For example, what can money not buy?
health and happiness,
Happiness it cannot buy,
Sleep,
compassion it cannot buy,
peace,
sleep it not cannot buy, love it cannot buy, knowledge it cannot buy. All the important things in life, money cannot buy. And therefore, moha jala samavrataha. They don't understand, they're completely encircled by that web of delusion, by moha jalaha. And therefore, prasaktaha. So prasakta has to be broken up. Prasaktena saktaha. Saktaha means attached. Saktena means specially or continuously attached to what? Kama bhogeshu, enjoyment of sense objects. Therefore, they are all artha kama pradhanaha. Their life is dependent or focused only towards desires and enjoyment. Which is why we see today, we see that this society of ours, mostly, I'm not saying 100%, there are few pockets which give a lot of importance to spirituality. But most society, you look at the social media, you look at your, what are the things, Facebook, Instagram. I just came across something new called Threads. Okay, all these things you look at. So you will find that the entire focus is only to improve the or get better and better methods of entertainment. Right? And even when they talk about making you healthy, going to a hospital, getting healthier, the idea is not that my body should be healthy for doing spiritual sadhana. My body should be healthy for more and more sense enjoyment. And therefore, you will find people, injecting their face with Botox. You don't like your, what do you call, wrinkles. I personally think wrinkles are okay, right? People wear wigs, or there are some people like me who don't care anyway, and some people like Sudhir, my friend, who doesn't care. So such things are there. Then, so Shankara adds over here, Tatraiva Nishnaha Santaha, because of their obsession with these sense pleasures. Tatraiva, in that sense pleasures, he is really obsessed. What happens? The impurities in their mind increase. There is a constant flow of raga, dvesha, kama, krodha, lobha, mada, matsaryaha. They keep on increasing. And when these kalmashaha is these mental impurities, when they increase, what happens? Ashuchau narake patatti. He goes to the lower worlds. And that's a tragedy, right? Because we have four purusharthas: artha, kama, dharma, moksha. And if you look at the, evolving life, animals, for example, say a monkey or a gorilla, which science says that your ancestors were once upon a time. So I may have an ancestor who was maybe a gorilla, right? Let us assume. What would be the purusharthas for that gorilla ancestor of mine?
Kama.
And
Arthakam.
arthaka. Okay.
Achha.
So only arthakama enjoyment is his purushartha. And therefore, if today the Lord has given me a human life, and the Lord expects me to have four purusharthas with moksha as the predominant purushartha. When I get a human life, that is the expectation that you are aware that you have four purusharthas and you are aware which is the primary one, which is moksha. But yet, I spend my life only in arthakama. What message am I giving the Lord? I'm saying, hey Bhagavan, I am as good as a pashu, as an animal. So, what will happen? Next birth, Ashuchau Narake Patanti. He will get a spiritually inferior next. Krishna is making very clear. You engage only in Arthakama, you can be sure next birth will be according to that. You'll be free to indulge in Arthakama. Okay, now we go to verse number 17, we will chant. आत्मसम्भावितास्तब्धाः
आत्मसंस्थापितस्तब्धाः
धनमानमदान्विताः
धनमानमदान्विताः
यन्ते नाम यज्ञैस्ते
यजन्ते नाम यज्ञैस्ते
दम्भेन विधिपूर्वकम्
दम्भेनाविधिपूर्वकम्.
So we are talking again about these people only. Atma Sambhavitaha. So they glorify themselves as endowed with all the virtues of the Lord. So, Sarvaguna Vishishtaya. They think that they are as good as the Lord. And that's why the word Atma Sambhavitaha. Atma here is not Satchidatma. Okay, Atma here is a Atmanaha. It's a reflexive pronoun meaning I. So is I Sambhavitaha. Atmanaiva Sambhavitaha. Glorifying myself as the Lord Himself. Yeah? And Shankara adds over here. These people, they do that. Shankara adds, na sadhu bihi. But the sadhus, the Vaidikas, the people who are studying the Shastra, they do not see these virtues in these people. Those people are making the claim that they are good as Ishvara. But as a Vaidika, I don't see those virtues in that person because that person is extremely rigid. So Stabdaha. Sabdaha is very rigid. So Shankara says apranata manaha. Apranatat man. Apranatat manaha means not bending at all, which means that they will never do namaskara to anybody, including the Lord. Right? So this is not bending because I've got you got a L5S1 problem in the back. That bending is different. That is they call bending due to your physical problems. This is not that. This is bending because of arrogance. So you don't want to bend your head before anybody. You don't want to touch anybody's feet because nobody is equivalent to you. Why should I touch anybody's feet? Everybody should be touching my feet, right? So that's the thing referred to as thabdaha, that arrogance that I will never do pranam or bend my head to anybody, never acknowledge anybody as equal to me or superior. Then dhana mana, that word has to be taken carefully. Dhana mana ada anvitaha. So because of their wealth, dhana, because of the manaha, madascha, they are full of madaha, arrogance, and manaha, pride. So three things are there. Dhana, mana, madaha. Anvitaha means full of. So because of manaha, that is pride, because of madaha, arrogance, all brought about by dhana, misplaced sense of thinking that he is a great man, so he's earned so much money, so he has arrogance and pride. What do? Yajante. They perform yajnas. But what kind of yajnas? Krishna himself says, Nama yajnahi. They are yajnas only in nama, only in name. They are pujas only in name. Because there is no devotion in the mind. That person doesn't care about Ishvara at all. He doesn't respect the priest. He doesn't respect the mantra. You know, who decides? Like he's a person who the whole thing is focused on himself, right? So when he does a yajna, you will find a lot of photographs, selfies of this person in Instagram or Twitter or whatever, or threads, right? Also, in that post, he will write how many great people of this country attended my yaga. This man came, that man came, this man came from the USA, this man came, and such big people came. Bill Gates came, this one came. So Nama Yajnahi, the puja, the yajna is for the purpose of his own publicity, not for the purpose of worshipping the Lord. And Dambhena. Dambhena is very pompous. He's all pomp and show only. And Avidhi Purvakam. Avidhi. He doesn't follow any rules and regulations. All the do's and don'ts of the scriptures are violated. Right? So, for example, in today's mantras, in today's weddings, for example, anyway, any weddings, when the mantra is being chanted, the mantra is supposed to be chanted by whom to whom? There is a mantra, in which I forget the exact mantra, in which the groom is telling the girl that I'm taking you as a partner for life, and so you should be nice to me throughout my life. So this man doesn't know the mantra, right? So who chants?
The
The
priest.
priest.
So the girl will be nice to whom? The husband or the
The
priest?
priest.
Okay. All right. So then I think we have time for one more, so we will do that. Okay, we will 18th mantra, we will chant. Ahankaram balam darpam
Ahamkaram Nam darpam.
दर्पम्
Kamam krodham cha samshritaha.
कामं
Kamam krodham cha samshrita.
Atma paradehesu.
Mamatma paradehi.
Pradishwanto abhisuyakaha.
प्रद्विषन्तो
Yaka.
Okay. So there is a verse somewhere, Shruti Smriti Mamaiva Agne Ullange Tena na Karachit. Agne Langi Mama Dveshi Mat Bhagavatapi Navaishtavaha. So he says Shruti Smriti Agnehi Mama Eva. Those instructions giving in Shruti and Shruti are mine only. Tena ulange na karhitaha. You should never disobey them. And Agnya Langi Mama Dveshi, the one who does ulanganam of the Agnya, the one who breaks or doesn't obey my commands, Agnya, remember that Mama Dveshi, he is he is a person who Dveshi, he hates me. He is a person who hates me. And even if he is my devotee, Vaishnavaha. Vaishnavaha is a follower of Ishvara. So even if if he is a devotee, he is not a Shnavaha. He is not a follower of Ishvara. And therefore it's not enough to say that you are a devotee. You have to prove it in your actions. And how prove it in your actions? By obeying the instructions of Ishvara. And where are the instructions? They are found in the Veda only, Shruti and Smriti only. That's why Krishna says that that's why this verse says that all instructions in Shruti and Smriti are given by Ishvara only. And therefore, if you disobey them, even if you are my devotee, you hate me and you are not my follower. You are not a devotee at all. You may say you are my devotee, but you are not. Therefore, faith in the Lord, faith in Ishvara, has to manifest as what? Faith in Shastram. And faith in Shastram has to manifest as what? As obeying the Vidhi and Nisheda Vakyams. Right? So that's why it is Ahankaram. Ahankaram means arrogating to yourself glories. You say that, I am a very glorious person. I have the following virtues. Those virtues may exist or not exist. Shankara writes in his commentary, Ahankaram has to be taken as superimposing virtues upon yourself. And those virtues can be existing or totally non-existing virtues. You just say, I am such a great person. Right? And Shankara uses the word Atmani Adhyaropitaha. So Ahankara is what? The RC. That is the body-mind complex with reflected consciousness. So remember that RC is Ahankara itself. The RC in the body is called Ahankara in Veda. The Ahankara is not ego. Ego is the Dharma Shastram aspect of it, which says that unnecessary pride is ego, right? That is the Dharma Shastric aspect. But the Vedantic aspect, Ahankara is nothing but body-mind complex plus reflected consciousness. And what does RC do? He superimposes existing and non-existing glories upon himself. So he says, I am a person who has great qualities. And Shankara writes, this is the thinking of one who has got Asuri Sampat. And this Ahankara is therefore the root cause of all problems. Sarva doshana moolam, Shankara writes. The root cause of all problems. And Sarva anarthi pravrittinam. And the cause of all undesirable activities. right? So you can see this is a very lovely definition. It combines the Vedantic idea of Ahankara and the ideas of the activities of Dharma Shastra Ahankara. The Dharma Shastra Ahankara is full of Kama Raga, right? Vedanta Ahankara is just the body mind complex plus the RC. Combine both. And said this person has superimposed all these qualities upon himself and he thinks he's a very, very great person. And Balam means full of Kama and Raga, desires and attachment. And he is not beyond doing anything. He insults others. The power to do anything, including insulting others, without anybody stopping you, he refers to you as Balam. This is not Balam which is dharmic, adharmic Balam. And Darpam. Darpam is the all my words and actions will be governed by my ragadvesha. So that Darpam, that particular quality of violating dharma. And this defect belongs where? It belongs to the mind itself. And Kamam. Kamam is the desire for any another. So you can see that there is a repeated emphasis on desire as very, very uh, undesirable thing to have. Kama is something which should not be entertained. But you should understand that Shastra is never against dharmic desires. We are only saying that adharmic desires should necessarily be eliminated. And Krishna himself has said, Dharma viruddho bhuteshu kamo asmi he Bharatarshava. Hey Arjuna, I am Kamaha. Kamaha asmi. Hey Arjuna, I am desire itself. But where Bhuteshu? In all beings, I am the desire. But what kind of desire? Dharma aviruddha. Dharma aviruddha. Desire not opposed to dharma, I am. Where did we see this? Dharma viruddho bhuteshu kamosmi bharatarshava.
10th chapter. Vibhuti.
No, 7th chapter. Okay. Okay. So, krodham here is the anger towards something or some event or some people when that is unfavorable to me, when it is obstructing my goal of getting sense pleasure. And therefore, samsitaha, resorting to these kind of emotions, etan anyamsha mahato doshas. Right, Shankara. He says all these great defects, what are they? Matsarya, lobha, etc. Having all these things in them, having enveloped their life with all these defects, mam pradishvantaha, they begin to hate me without realizing what? Who am I? Atma paradeheshu. I am the very life in his own body as well as in all other bodies. And I am present in the bodies as what? Shankara writes, Tad buddhi karma sakshi bhutam. I am that very sakshi, the witness consciousness of buddhi and karma, of all thoughts and actions. Shankara is saying, I am the sakshi chaitanyam. I am the one which gives you the power to hate. And with that power of hating, what do? You hate me. And when you hate me, what are you doing? Mam pradishvantaha. You are disregarding the instructions of the Shastra and hating me. And not only that, abhyasuyakaha. These people are intolerant of people who study the scriptures. So Shankara writes, abhyasuyaka is sanmarga sthanam guneshu asahamanaha. Intolerant of sanmarga sthana. people who study the scriptures. And for what purpose? Guneshu. For acquiring gunas, for acquiring sadhana chatushtayam. These people are intolerant of such people. Why? Asuyaha. Asuya is a word which we have seen before, we'll see later. Asuyaha means guneshu dosha darshanam. They can only see defects, even in virtues. So that asuyaha word is a very important one. It's a very big defect for a spiritual seeker. Guneshu dosha darshanam. Even when there are only virtues, this person, what does he do? Dosha darshanam. He can only see defects. So with this, we'll stop for today. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti 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 Om Tat Sat Om Namah Shivaya. Thank you for your patience. Om